Hello everybody, it's Cossaboon, the Angel Encourager. I'm trying this a little bit different of a way because I'm having to charge my iPad right now. Hi, how you doing today? So good to see you. I haven't done a periscope in a couple days. I thought I'd connect with you. Hey Stephanie, how you doing? So good to have everybody coming in with me today. So I wanted to talk about stepping into your courage and who you are when you are courageous. Oh my goodness, look at everybody joining me today. Pete Cossaboon, the Angel Encourager. How you doing, Stephanie? It's so good to see you. And Tiffany's with us, and Vinny's there. And thank you so much for everybody joining me. So Archangel Serviel, he's a new archangel that's really coming to me. And he's the archangel that actually, hi, how you doing, sweetie? He's the archangel that was with Daniel in the lion's den. He was also the archangel that helped David to beat Goliath. Hey, Wendy, how you doing today? And can you tell me, I'm doing this in a different kind of a reference point. Am I appearing differently today? I don't know if I'm going sideways or how I'm appearing, but I'm having to turn my iPad sideways because it's having to actually charge as I'm going. So if I cut out real quick, it might be because I ran out of energy here. Oh, good. That's great. I'm so glad that you got encouragement from me this morning. That's amazing. And hey, how you doing from Kansas? Oh, good, good. Because I didn't know how this would work because I'm trying to charge at the same time it's out the bottom of it over here. So anyway, it's about stepping into your courage. Now, if you can imagine, oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so thankful. And of course, we called it forth. We knew that was going to happen because that's the way it is. We proclaim it, it happens. So I love that. So I want you to think about now, if you were Daniel in the lion's den, or if you were David trying to beat Goliath, imagine the angel that helps you do that. Imagine that you were able to, hey, PCA Angel, how you doing, Angel? Oh my gosh, you joined me too. I'm so glad. I'm so happy. If y'all are not following PCA Angel, you absolutely need to. This guy rocks. We're going to do some amazing things together. He's got some amazing products coming back out. He also has an amazing, perhaps I can talk about, maybe he has an amazing website that we're not supposed to be talking about that he's got coming out soon. So you need to follow him. You need to see what he's up to. The guy is just amazing and wonderful. He does the scope usually later at night. Totes love my friend there. So anyway, it's really about stepping out into your courage. It's about knowing that if the angels can help you get through the lion's den with Daniel, if they can help you beat that Goliath, what can they do in your everyday life? And every one of us has situations when we feel like David against Goliath. Who here has felt like we were David with Goliath? Or who here has felt like they were in the lion's den? Who here has felt that way? And perhaps you felt lonely and like you were really, you're very welcome, my friend. You are too. Who here has felt like they were in a situation where they were, in a place where they felt alone and they felt like they were, yeah, okay. Wendy says yes. and my friend from Kansas, yes. Hi, how you doing? How you doing from Los Angeles? Yes, every one of us does. So what I want you to really kind of tune in, I want you to tune into the incredible energy and power. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You can tell me I'm adorable all day long because my love language is compliments. So you totally have me. If you compliment me, I'm totally in. That's my love language. But anyway, so it's about you knowing, and look at me getting all like this. I'm laughing at myself as I'm doing it. But it's about you knowing the incredible love and the energy that's surrounding you all the time, the incredible protection that's surrounding you, the incredible energy that's surrounding you at all times. And for you, oh, so sweet, so sweet. But it's about you knowing that and about starting to take on that cloak of protection and that cloak of power and that cloak of energy and the cloak of knowing who you are. Because, Marianne Williamson says that we're not afraid of the dark. We're afraid of our own light. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. We're not afraid. We are afraid of our own power because if we truly are power, oh, good. If we truly are powerful, then who are we? And that could be a scary thought. I mean, I know it was a scary thought for me. It was something that I had to really kind of own. Oh, thank you, my friend. It was something that I had to own and really kind of step into. I used to always say that the angels just kind of like worked through me, that I was nothing special, and that there was nothing about me but a lower. And the angels really started getting pissed at me. They said, no, you really need to step into who you are, and that you are unique, and that there's a certain thing about you. Oh, is my Ari? Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. That means I got my abundance coming in. I love that. That's also, I think, because I have a lot of energy that comes out. Oh, Angel. It's right. It's right, Wendy. You are an Angel's scopes. See, that's right. That's amazing. So everybody needs to get with PCA Angel for sure. But anyway, I really want you to really kind of tune into who you are and the great power that is surrounding you. And I want you to start stepping into your own power, because so many of us in this day and age, we really feel at a point of being powerless. We feel like, oh, okay, alrighty. Well, if you want to, I always put this on Facebook.com, The Angel Encourager, if you want to watch my periscopes later, or you can watch the replay. So I would love for you to do that. But anyway, I just want you to start stepping into the own power that you have. Because so many of us feel really powerless in this day and age. We feel like, the government or our boss or our loved ones or our relationship or something like that is really in control, and that we have really no point of control. But the truth of the matter is that we are always in control, because number one, we show the world how to treat us. That's the first thing. By how we treat ourselves is how the world knows to treat us. And it's also about, when we don't step into our own power, it creates a power vacuum, and someone else is going to step in. Now that power is always there for you to take. It's always there for you to take, but you have to proclaim it. You have to feel comfortable stepping into it. And that's a real growth period, and it can feel really kind of off, or like I say, jinky. People are like, what does jinky mean? It's just where you feel this kind of like that's off or something like that. So yeah, it can be very humbling to step into your own power. It's a point of because we're really taught not to be narcissistic. We're taught to really be of service to others, but you cannot be of service to others, and you cannot help each others unless you're strong in yourself. And that's about stepping into your own power, and stepping into your own realization of who you are and how you can call things forth. Just like Hocus Pocus was saying that he feels better today. It's because we proclaimed that, we called that forth, and we actually enacted that power, we enacted that energy, we focused that energy. Because there is great energy, especially right now with all the moon cycles that are going on right now. Right now, a lot of people feel really kind of out of whack and like, what is going on? And it's like that moon energy is almost like a car going 50 miles an hour. Now, if you have your hands firmly on the wheel and you have it directed, you can do great things with that energy. But if you have your hands off the wheel, you're going to go veering off in the bushes. So it's about you having that focus of that energy, and being able to control that energy. And that's something that you can just kind of learn how to do. And probably people are asking, well, how do I learn how to do it? Well, number one is starting to realize that you can do it. To start realizing that it is a decision about whether or not you control that energy. It killed me. Yes, and so that's exactly what happens, Stephanie. It's because it's not anything about you, and it's not that you can't control the energy. It's just that you're not controlling the energy. It's that you're not realizing that you are at the point of control. You are at the point of power. You are at the point of focus. So those times of the moon energy is a great time of releasing and bringing in the new, but it's also a great time for you to really start focusing on things. And it's also a great time to really start listening to your own body system, because like today I took an hour nap. I did do that, and that's before I was able to do the scope here, because I was, it takes a lot of energy from me, but at the same time I'm learning how to take that energy and focus it and intend upon what it is that I can really do. So I feel better. It's good. I'm so glad. Does anybody have any healthy feelings? Oh goodness. And sometimes crying is about releasing, so that's a beautiful thing, because this is a great time of releasing and bringing in new power. Oh, Coach is with us today. How you doing, Coach? So does anybody have any questions or comments? Naps are wonderful. They are absolutely amazing. I love them. Anything that we can help people with tonight? Maybe I could do. I haven't done a reading really for a long time. Is there anything that I can help people with or answer? Howdy from Tahiti. How you doing, Coach? Coach knows I love her, and Coach is doing some amazing things. You should all follow Coach there. She's got some amazing new programs coming forward. So very proud of her. I think she's going to have so much about. Oh, good. Yes, you kind of have to, don't you? And Coach has possibly a new radio show coming up soon, so we might be talking about that. And while we're talking about that, I do want to make sure everybody knows that you hook up with me at facebook.com, The Angel Encourager. Oh, hey, is that my Tiffany? Oh my goodness, Tiffany. Darling, what can I help you with? You tell me what your subject or your topic is. Tiffany's got some amazing things. And everybody needs to be following my Tiffany TBO right there. Subject matter as an empath. Lots of it. It's right, Stephanie. That's amazing. And I would love to hear more about what you're doing. If you want to message me there on Facebook and let me know what's going on for you, I would love to hear about that. I've got some really cool programs going on. Number one, I would love for you to say, that's right, you're doing it, girl. I would love for everybody to sign up for my newsletter, first of all, on my Facebook page. I was just looking at it. There's a sign-up link at the very top, facebook.com, The Angel Encourager. You need to know about love. And Tiffany wants to know about abundance. Alrighty. So Tiffany asked first. Let's ask Tiffany. Let's look for Tiffany for abundance, and then Wendy, we'll look at you for love. Okay, darling. And I'm so glad to be doing this because I haven't actually taken my cards out of the box for a couple of days now, and they're getting kind of antsy. So let's see what we got. Did you create peace? How would you create peace in how would you create peace in your workplace? By creating peace in yourself, that's for sure. And then to find yourself some things that help you with peace. Now for me it's crystals, it's candles, it's whatever you can find that really resonates with you. It's creating those symbols that create a safe workspace for you. And I just got the low battery on my iPad, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to go here. I do have it charging, but it seems to not make it last very long. I'm turning off the little indicator there. All right, so Tiffany, we're going to look for abundance for you, and then Wendy, we're looking at love. Two of my favorite subjects. All right, Tiffany, the first card for you is the Nurture card. This is talking about how you really are good. This is talking about how you really need to start taking care of yourself and those around you that are in the situation that you're in. So Tiffany is a beautiful, wonderful, wonderful young lady. She's one of my daughters. I have many daughters. And this is about you starting to really take some kind of extreme self-care for yourself and knowing that it's not about your effort. It's about really you keeping yourself in that space where you're feeling joyful and happy and you're feeling cared for. That's the very important thing, because you are the point of power. You are the point of reference for everything, and everything comes from you. I mean, almost see yourself as kind of like a sending out unit. Oh, thank you, my friend. Almost see yourself as a sending out unit for your energy. And so you are that point of contact for the entire universe, and how everything that happens to you gets sent out from you, if that makes any sense to you. The second card is the Clear Your Space card from Archangel Jophiel. So this is so much about you making sure that you don't overburden yourself. You make sure that you declutter everything that's not serving you. Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Jophiel. If Tiffany knows. Tiffany's desk is always beautiful, and she knows my desk is the one that probably needs to be decluttered. But she's the one getting the message right now. We're not talking to Pete. We're talking to Tiffany. Of course, I always know messages are meant for me too. So this is about just making sure that you keep everything kind of in order, is in your mind, and also well, I was going to say in your workplace, but it already is, and it already is in your home, and I'm sure it already is in your car. But I think it's mainly about just in your mind, making sure that you have the focus of what it is that you want to bring in, to your life, and not really let anything else really habit that space, but just what really serves you. The next card for you is the Patience card. Now this is the second card for you from Archangel Jophiel. So she's so much as the Archangel of Beauty, and I think she's really coming forward for you because you are such a beautiful person, and she wants you to keep that in your heart, that you are beautiful, and wrapped around that have that beauty and that love wrapped around you, because she is such a loving angel and always wants to. In fact, I see her taking like a sort of a very light pink shawl and like wrapping it around you. I see her doing that a lot of times, and I see her do that with you right now. So patience, that's about not pulling out in doubt, of the seeds that you've planted in faith. That's about allowing it time to nurture, allowing it time to grow and build. The last card for you is the Angel Therapy cards. This is so much about you knowing that you can rest upon the angels and the different universal energies, however you tap in, to know that you are supported, you are cared for, you are safe, and you are protected. And so, today's topic is really about stepping into courage. So if you can imagine that Archangel Serviel was there with Daniel in the lion's den and helped David to defeat Goliath, you can imagine the great energy that's there to protect you, and not only just protect you, but to be there actually helping you to conquer those however you would think of those challenges in life, whether they're physical challenges or mental or whatever. You're so surrounded and you're so protected in this. So Tiffany, I hope that helped you. You're so sweet, darling. And now we were going to look at love. I think, was that for Wendy? Is that right? Wendy, were you the one that was asking about love? Is that right? I believe it was. One of my favorite subjects. And I'm currently in the dating game, so it's kind of one thing I'm working with myself too. And number one about love is to know to love yourself first. Hey, how you doing? Yes, okay, Wendy wants to know about love. So the first point about love is to love yourself first. I have a little notice on my computer I look at all the time. It says, "How a broken heart taught me to love myself." Oh, sure, I will be reading for you right after Wendy, darling, okay? So this was on love. So come from a space of love for yourself to begin with. And realize that you want to come into any kind of a relationship as a complete being. And I'm learning right now in my dating life to just really kind of take it on for the fun of it. And then when the right one comes along, I'm going to know. Instead of, used to be, Pete would be like, if somebody paid him attention, he'd be like, hello. And now it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? So it's so much more about stepping into your own power, having the courage to be by yourself, and walking boldly in love. That's really what it's all about. Because when you walk into a room confident, when you walk into a room in joy, and I'm going to tell you this from personal experience, you have the eye of everybody, and I'm telling you that from personal experience. I'm 52 years old. I've never been in as much joy. I've never been in as much confidence. And when I walk into a room, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I can tell you from Tiffany, Tiffany knows it's the truth too. She hears my stories. So love, let's take a look here and see what we get. Interesting. Oh, well, okay. Archangel Jophiel's hot tonight. All right, so the first card for you, I love that. The first one is the spiritual understanding card, and that's so much about you. That's so much about you really kind of getting in tune with your body, mind, spirit system, and starting to learn the different signs and symbols that are showing you that you are love, and that love is surrounding you every day. I'm really getting for you that there are certain symbols. I'm not sure if they're going to be hearts or feathers or something like that, that perhaps you're going to see, that you have been seeing. It's about starting to realize those particular signs and symbols. Should be juicy for me. Those certain signs or symbols that have been coming to you, and that you see, that really kind of showing you that you're in line. I know for me, especially with nature, when a bird flies right across the front of my windshield when I'm driving, I know that I'm really in line. I know there's just certain signs. It's about you starting to recognize those signs and symbols. I also want to say that it's the difference between being in the sympathetic and the parasympathetic system. When you're in the sympathetic system, you're right here in your fear, worry, anxiety, doubt. You're cut off from universal mindset. You're very much in this head space. You're very much that spinning wheel of what do I do, where do I go, how do I do this, I can't do this, just self-judgment, self-judgment, self-judgment. And when you breathe, what you do when you take those deep belly breaths, you mimic how your body is in relaxation. And what happens when you do that, when you mimic it, your brain starts to think that you're relaxed. And when your brain starts to believe, because you're breathing as though you're relaxed, it begins to give out the signals that you're relaxed. Now when that happens, then your whole body goes into that parasympathetic system, and that means that you're completely in line with spirit. You start getting spiritual understanding, spiritual knowing, because signs and symbols surround you all day long. But if you're in a headspace where you can't see them or you can't receive them, then hi, Danette, how you doing? Then you're never even going to notice them. Because what happens is there are millions and billions of points of data that are coming to us every single day. And we have something in our brain called the Reticular Activating System. And what that is, it's a system in our brain that takes out of all the packets of data that surround us in every day, the things that are relevant to us. And the way it knows what's relevant to us is by the mindset that we're in, the focus that we're in, the expectations that we're in, and the thoughts that we're allowing to come into our mind. So if you are in a space of being joyful and peaceful and tranquil, those are the packets of information that your reticular activating system are going to pick. If you're in a space of being in fear, anxiety, worry, and doubt, those are the packets of information that surround you that your reticular activating system is going to pick. So you see how it's really, I'm really breaking it down to where you can see it's more of a, I don't want to say mechanical, but that's really the way it works. And that's why people tell you thoughts become things. That's why people tell you that your mindset is so important. And that's why, because you are surrounded by challenges and opportunities. But you can't see the opportunities unless you're in an opportunistic mindset. If you're in a challenging mindset, that is when you're going to see all the challenges. So listen to the words that come out of your mouth, because the words that come out of your mouth are a direct reflection of your expectations and your beliefs. If you start watching other people, not in a space of judgment, but start watching other people and start listening to the words that are coming out of their mouth, and then watch how it matches their human experience, you're going to be amazed. And then you're going to start realizing, let me start listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth. So be real mindful of the words that you use, and then it's just like with the breathing, start saying the words that mimic you being in peace, tranquility, love, and abundance. And then what happens, then that triggers your mind, that triggers your brain to believe that you enjoy peace. So it's all about, you can move your body first and your mind will catch up, or you can move your mind first and your body will catch up. You have this great system of where if you can't work one, you can work the other, and it's going to bring the other into alignment, because your natural state of being is in joy. That's why good feels good. That's why bad feels bad, because your natural state is to feel good. Your natural state is to be in joy. So if you give your body or your mind or your spirit one way to be joyful, everything else is going to come right into line. It's actually harder to be depressed, worried, fearful, anxious. That's why those energies make you so tired, because it takes so much strength, it takes so much energy to be fearful or anxious or worried or depressed. Does that make sense? When you're in joy, when you're in peace, and when you're in tranquility, when you're in happiness, think of how much energy you have and how you can just go for days, it seems, without sleeping. You're just running around doing all these things. It's because that's your natural state of being, and it doesn't take any extra effort from you to keep in that state. But when you're in that state of fear, anxiety, worry, and doubt, that's not your natural state, and it drains energy from you because you're having to keep yourself in a state that's unnatural for you. So that's one thing I want to make sure that you know. So it was kind of a long speech. So like Tiffany, you got the patience card, which is really interesting, from Archangel Jophiel. And I do shuffle these decks 4 times before I do another reading and I clear them. So it's really interesting that she's coming up again tonight for you, Wendy. So it's so much about you just planting those seeds of self-care for yourself and self-love for yourself, and knowing that the love situation is going to come for you, but not to pull out in doubt what you've planted in faith. And so it's so much about you really starting to maybe even make physical lists. I know of one woman that made a list of 100 things that she wanted her husband to be, and she found a man that had 99 of them. Now they went through a little bit of a period, but they were very upfront and with each other, and now I believe that their relationship is even more beautiful than it was before. And so it's about you making lists, and that's one great thing. That's one reason why I'm sort of in the dating pool, and I'm kind of like going around meeting different people, because it's really making me conscious of what makes me happy and what doesn't make me happy. And I'm really formulating my list. And Tiffany can tell you I am too, because we talk about my list all the time. But it's about you just having that patience and not thinking this next person's got to be the one or whatever, but just you stepping in that patience and taking your time and know what's going to come. The next card for you is also Archangel Jophiel. It's the Outdoors card. So what this is saying for me, for you, it's about, yes, gratitude and intentionalist. It's about stepping out to the outdoors, into nature, because nature is always in line. Nature is always it doesn't even matter if it's a potted plant or if it's in the woods or it's by a brook. It doesn't matter what kind of nature we're talking about. Anything that's natural, that grows naturally, is already in line with spirit. And when we get near it, we take on that vibration of the natural flow, of universal flow. So it's about you getting outdoors or getting near nature, surrounding yourself with plants or whatever you need to, whatever you can, whatever that's just natural, that will put you into that flow. And this, because that really speaks to how it's not about your effort, because you're a human being, not a human doing. And what does that mean? That means that you exist to be. You don't exist to do. It's not about your effort. It's about your inspired action. And one thing about inspired action, that doesn't mean that you need to be in movement, but that you need to be in that universal connection so that you can get the inspiration of how you adjust that action so that you can go towards the path that you want to go to. The last card for you is the Counselor card. So what I'm getting for you is that it's really going to be, I get kind of the idea that there are people that look at you almost like a mentor. I don't know if you're a mom or if you have younger sisters or something like that. It's almost like this younger sister energy. These even might be friends that are around you that really kind of look up to you, or that will be looking up to you. And this will be a space for you to really show. You can show them how you self-love and how you pick a mate and how you express that love through self-love and self-care for yourself. Not just to find somebody, that will be there for you, but to find somebody that, will be that perfect match, that will take care of you, that will be a perfect companion, because it's not about the old Western, idea of you complete me, because you already are complete. It's the idea of having somebody to simply share your experiences with. Because when you need somebody to complete you, as soon as that person goes and does something else, then what are you? You're incomplete again. And it's just, the surest way to unhappiness is to depend upon somebody else for your happiness. You're the count. I love that. So amazing. So in other words, it's there for you, darling. It's about you just stepping into the flow, taking care of yourself, being patient, connecting with the universal mindset, and just, enjoying yourself. So does that make sense for you, Wendy? And I had somebody else, she had kind of a long name that wanted a reading. If you were there, darling, if you can give me a subject or a topic that you would like a reading on, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. You still there with? Yes, you were next. Wait, what was your subject or your topic that you wanted me to do a reading on you for? The more specific, the better. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad it was helpful to you. I dropped one of my cards. Love and finance. Okay, so usually when somebody asks for two things, it usually means that they're very much connected. So that's going to be interesting. We'll see what we have. And those are probably two, besides health, those are probably the two biggest questions that people have. Love, finance, or if they have some kind of a health issue, it's usually right there. Health is usually the first. But it's really interesting how love and finance are always very much connected to most people. And I'm working with a new card deck, and I really, once I get more in tune with it. Your name is Rebecca. Well, hey, Rebecca, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming up tonight and for allowing me to connect for you. It is such a joy and pleasure for me. I just want to let you know that. So I'm so appreciative of you. And let's get Rebecca some love. Let's get her some finances tonight, shall we? Shall we show her some love? Love and finance. Let's see what we got for you tonight. Okay. The first card for you, it's really interesting because this was the subject of the whole speech tonight. Cool. It's the Courage card. This is Archangel Ariel. She's also the Archangel, by the way, of abundance. And she's coming forth first, letting you know to just kind of stand in that space of knowing that you are well and that you are a powerful creator. You are a powerful caller forth of everything that you desire. So the first thing I'm really kind of getting for you, have you been really clear about what it is that you want in your life? Not about how you're going to get there, because that's one thing I always usually have to counsel people about. It's not about, because usually what happens is like somebody will want to have their own place. And they'll be like, well, I've got to get this job so that I can get this apartment, so that I can have my own space, so that I can feel safe. And I'm like, well, why don't we just go to being safe? Let's do that, because let's not judge how we get to that space. Let's just decide, because I have friends, I have friends that I have known where they needed a space to live, and they had somebody coming up to them saying, hey, I'm going out of the country for 3 months and I need somebody to house sit. And the next thing they know, they're taking care of, a beautiful space for free. Utilities are paid for. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be available to everybody. I'm just saying don't be judging how that comes to you. Just allow the universe to bring it to you for the first part. So what I'm really kind of just saying to you is, have you really defined what it is that you want to bring into your life? And especially for women, I think it's more about writing down like how you want to feel. It's about, you want to feel safe, you want to feel abundant, you want to feel like you can take care of yourself, you want to feel like you can take care of your loved ones. So that's really the feeling space that I want you to start writing down. And make sure if there are specifics that you want, like for me, I want a two-tone blue FJ Toyota Cruiser. That's a very specific thing that I want. But so if there's something specific, that's great. But I think more for women, it's about actually writing down the way that you want to feel, because you women, you know, can be all over the place on what I want. Right. So I think what it's going to be greater for you is to have a better target. Is how do I want to feel when I have these things? And then the angels, believe it or not, are going to know the perfect mix for how you're going to be brought into a space, and you're going to be like you're going to end up in some space and you're like, I feel like the way I wanted to feel. Isn't that amazing? And know it's all about how you feel in the now, because the now is all that you have, and accept that. Don't be worried about 10 steps down the road. The angels are very much what I call just-in-time manufacturing, if you ever heard that, or Sigma 7. And what that means is you get the part you need when you need the part. And when we're focused on the part that we need for step number 10, we're not living in our now. And the angels always want us to live in our now, because now is all that you have. That's all you have. And you need to be joyful in your now in order to be joyful in the future. Because if you're not joyful now, you're not going to be joyful when you get there, because we were talking earlier about the reticular activating system. So if you're not focusing on joy right now, things of joy are not going to be coming to you, or you're not going to be seeing the things of joy that are surrounding you every moment. So I want you to step into joy and excitement. And if there's something that you really desire in life, I want you to get excited, because that means there's great passion in you. There's great excitement. There are great opportunities coming forth. So start getting excited if there's things that you really want, because think how much passion that is. Think about how much energy that is. And there's so many people out there that have no passion. But if there's something you really, really want, then get excited about it. I want you to start getting excited about wanting things and desiring things and wanting new things in your life, because that shows you are a person of passion, you're a person of energy. And that also means as we ask for things, as we desire things, and as we call them forth, we actually expand the universe. I'm going to tell you an idea that has come to me from, I'll tell you two different theories that have come to me from the angels. And the number one is, you know, during times of depression, that's when the greatest number of millionaires are created. And the reason I believe that happens is because so many people are in a state of asking, but so few are in a point of believing or expectation, that there's all this stuff that's been called forth, and there's this very small little pocket of people that are actually believing it, so there's more for them to take in. So if that makes sense to you, I think that's why more millionaires are created during times of depression. The other thing that they've really been talking to me about, I don't know if anybody that follows quantum physics, and this is just the theory that's been brought to me by the angels. 96% of all that surrounds us is what we call dark energy or dark matter. In other words, we have no clue what it is. In other words, 4% of energy and matter is all that we know of that surrounds us. So what the angels are telling me is that 96% is the uncalled forth soup that surrounds us. So if everything we know of is comprised of only 4% of what we can see and sense, then just imagine if we could tap into that 96%, what we could create. So what I'm trying to really express to you is the great potentiality of what can be called into being. And you're the one that calls it into being through your words, through your expectation, through your thoughts, through your mindset. The next card for you is the healthy lifestyle card. So this is so much about you. You're tapping into being. You do it, girl. The healthy lifestyle cards. This is so much about you taking care of yourself, you taking that extreme self-care, about exercising, eating right, doing all these different things, because so many times we're thinking we're rushed, or when I have this much money, then I'll take better care of myself, or whatever it is. We have all these little mind games we play with ourselves, telling us, once I'm in this situation is when I'm going to take care of myself, or once I have this much money. But see, money is not a god. Money is simply a form of exchange. It's so that I don't have to give you 3 potatoes for a chicken. It's basically what it is. So don't make money the god. Don't wait to live your life till you have the right amount of money, or the right job, or the right house, or the right car, or the right relationship, or whatever. Because you're making those things gods over you. You're giving those things the power. You're the one with the power. You're the one that can accept the power. You're the one that can take back the power. You're the one that can proclaim the power. And it's through your calling it forth and you're having the faith. So totally want you to start doing that, taking care of yourself. It's also when you're in a better health state that you have more ability to take in spiritual understanding and knowing. The angels have had me on a real physical kick for the past year, because they've been sending me more and more information and more energy. And believe me, it has taken a lot of physical strength for me to be able to hold and harness and actually use that energy, because you find a lot of people that are intuitive or that get a lot of spiritual understanding but don't know how to handle it. They're either very overweight, or they're very thin, but they have problems with their joints, and they have problems with different parts of their body. And it's because they don't know how to handle their energy. Getting healthier clears the spiritual connection. And as you become more and more spiritual, it's suddenly like you can't drink alcohol much anymore. And you have to really find, good. Yeah. And you can't eat the way you used to eat. And you have to exercise more. It's just something that happens, one after the other. The next card for you is the You Are Safe card. I'm feeling, especially with finances, that you're really feeling kind of, you're feeling like you're kind of at this point of, you feel unsafe, you feel unprotected, you feel like you're one paycheck away, you feel like everything is about to go away. They want you to know that you are safe, you are protected, you are surrounded right now, and it's about proclaiming that safety and that protection. It's about proclaiming those things that you want. And I think that you're almost wanting a relationship, or almost like somebody to come rescue you. And that happens so many times, especially for Western women. Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing, Sketches? So it's about you knowing that you are complete in yourself. You are able to take care of yourself. And when you find a partner, you want to find a partner because you're complete in yourself and you want to share it with somebody else. So I hope that makes sense for you. The last card for you is the Clairvoyance card. So it's so much about, as you get yourself into line, about starting to understand the spiritual knowings and the spiritual sight that's coming to you through your third eye chakra. And people think, oh, what's that third eye chakra? It's just when you imagine things in your mind. It's just when you see things in your head. That's your third eye chakra. That's one thing I'm here to do, is sort of debunk all of these highfalutin spiritual things that people are thinking, oh, I don't do that. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. It's just about activating it. It's about believing it. It's about encouraging it. It's about, talking to it. So many people say, when I walk into a room, I feel energy. Am I crazy? I'm like, no, you're not crazy. That's just the way it is. That's the way you're built. That's the way you're tuned in. And it's about realizing that's your natural state and accepting that. And harnessing that power. And when I say harnessing that power, number one, it's about respecting it. It's about realizing that it's true. And if you want to tune in with higher understanding, if you want to tune in with however it is for you, Jesus, God, Buddha, Muhammad, Allah, the angels, the universe, spirit, however you think about it, it's about talking to them. It's about bringing them. I'm glad you feel it. It's about bringing it into your everyday life. It's about, because to the angels, to the universe, however you think of it, a castle's the same as a button. We're all signature energy packets. Everything is a signature energy packet. So there's 2 points in that. Number one, for you to know that if your energy was somehow pulled out of the universe, the entire universe would collapse, because you are your own particular energy packet that is so needed in the world. It's all about the yin and the yang energy. If you're here, there has to be a corresponding energy here as well. So if your energy was pulled out, then there would be nothing to correspond with that yang energy that's here to counterbalance your energy, and the entire thing would collapse. That's the first thing to know. The second thing to know is, since everything is just an energy packet, to the universe, a bad relationship is the same energy, or is the same amount of energy as a good relationship. A beat-up Volkswagen is the same amount of energy as a Mercedes. A castle is the same as a button. We're the ones that make things hard or easy. We're the ones that say things are expensive or cheap. We're the ones that say, this is going to be, a no-brainer for me, or this is going to be really, a hard thing to pull in. To the angels, it's all just, the same amount of energy, and to them, it's as easy to call forth, one thing as it is another. But it's about us calling forth, because we have free will, and the angels are not going to come in, and they're not going to create a path for you that you're not focusing upon, because you have free will. But it's your decision. Am I going to design my life by default, or am I going to design my life by conscious thinking and by conscious decision? And what I mean by that is, you are always creating your life. You are always calling it forth by your expectations, by your thoughts, by your beliefs. You are always doing that. And so your path is always being created for you. Number one, I want you to know that you are always on your path, because you are the path. The path begins with you. You're never off of your path, because you are the path. But what is your path? What is the path that you're creating? That's the thing. And you can change that right now in your now. There's nothing that's transcribed for you in the future. You are cool. That's amazing. And that's exactly what you want to do. There's nothing that's like, I can't tell you that something's going to happen to you in a year, because it's based upon where you are right now in this moment. And you can change that in the next moment. And then you can change that in the next moment. So it's about being conscious of where you are and what you're pulling forth. Because I was speaking earlier about the reticular activating system and how that really works and how it pulls out those packets of information based upon what our expectations are, what our beliefs are, what our thoughts are. And it's so much about. And so, can you tell me, sweetheart, Rebecca, was that helpful for you? Did that help you with your question there on love and finance? It's about you having the courage. It's about you taking care of yourself. It's about you knowing that you are well where you are. And it's about you starting to take in the spiritual sight that you're getting with your third eye chakra and just start to follow, what it is that you see for yourself. And it's so much, I think, about you really maybe writing down or journaling or something like that. Not necessarily the specific things that you want, but how you want to feel at the end of it. Because that's what I'm really finding for women, is that it's not so much about writing down, because women, we're all taught in the Western Hemisphere about, in order to get C, you need to have A and B. Well, that doesn't, not the way the universe thinks of it. In order to feel safe does not mean you have to have this particular A and B. The universe has a million ways to bring you things. I mean, if you think about there being 7 billion people on the planet, and each one of us has a different viewpoint, a different way of looking at things, a different way of living, a different way of being, a different aspect of what makes us happy and doesn't make us happy, then you can see there's billions of different ways of approaching life. There's a billion different ways to, so many times I'll speak to somebody and they're looking to get a job and they're really focusing on, when will this one company hire me to do this job? And I'm like, there are millions of companies out there. There are millions of different ways to make money. Why are you focusing upon this one way? Oh, a woman like me, how about that? How are you doing today? So it's about not focusing on this one particular thing being the way that the universe is going to give you whatever it is that you desire, but allowing that's not really your job. Your job is to focus upon what you want and to call it forth, and then to take inspired action. I always tell my clients, I want you to step into joy. I want you to take inspired action, and I want you to walk in faith, knowing that you are being led down the path that you're focused upon. So it's so important about you just focusing, not judging the neighborhood that you have to go through to get there. Well, that's, yeah, and you have it wonderful. I mean, if you imagine right now, the kings and queens of 200 years ago would be blown away if they saw how the poorest in our nation live today. They would be absolutely blown away. I mean, most of us, if not all of us, at least have access to a variety of different foods and changes of clothing and transportation and central heat and air and, electricity and cell phones. And, the kings and queens of 200 years ago, do you know why they wore those beautiful furs they wore? They wore them so that the lice and the fleas would jump off of them onto the fur. Now, what kind of life was that? I'm just saying. So just imagine how the kings and queens of 200 years ago would just be like, oh my gosh, I want to be a poor person in 2015. So you are well, you are taken care of, you are so abundant. Absolutely. So start proclaiming that abundance for yourself. Start realizing how abundant you really are. Stop comparing yourself to others, because comparison is the purest way to step into unhappiness. It absolutely is the purest way, because there's always going to be somebody that has like this or that or something else, but you don't know what their human experience is. I'm telling you, I have met people that are beautiful and have money and have the this and have the that and have something else and are so unhappy. And I can't explain it, but that's simply a decision. It's a decision of whether or not you're going to be happy. I mean, Tiffany, there's my Tiffany girl. Tiffany knows it's right because we're surrounded by this. So she knows exactly what I'm talking about. She knows some of these same people. So there's people that you look at and you're like, how can you not be happy? But that's a decision that they've made to not be happy. And so it's about you just making that. It's a conscious decision. And it's a habit that you get into. Habits, I love it. Habits take usually 21 days. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Compliments are my love language, so you just keep it up. If you want people to fall totally in love with you, that's what's going to happen. And Tiffany can tell you that's the truth. You compliment Pete and he rubs over and he turns over and for you to rub his belly. He's in. He's totally in. So yeah, that's the point of power that I want every single one of you to step into. I want each one of you to realize just how powerful you are, how magnificent you are, how amazingly abundant you are, how beautiful you are, how wrapped in love you are right now, and support. And thank you, my darling. Girl, you rock it. Sketches, you got it. If you were unhappy before money, you'll be unhappy with money. Absolutely. Oh, sorry about that, Wendy. Well, there will be a replay, darling, for you to watch. And I do want everybody to know that, please, I would love for you to hook up with me at facebook.com, The Angel Encourager. You can also go to theangelencourager.com or theangelencourager@gmail.com. Do you see kind of a rhythm going on right now? And if you go to my Facebook page, The Angel Encourager, there's a sign up link right there. You can click on the sign up link. I also have a products page I'd love for you to take a look at. Tomorrow I have the fifth of a 7 webinar series on creating your personal paradise. Tomorrow is on wealth, abundance, and money. And it's going to be completely different than you normally hear about wealth, abundance, and money. It's going to be an authentic walk of how Pete's walking through it. So I would love for you to see if that resonates with you. If you click on the link, you'll see like a little lead pages that'll give you kind of a more idea of what it's about. It's a 7 webinar series. This one's on wealth and abundance. The next one, I'm not sure if it's going to be next week or the week after. It's going to be on relationships and great sex, which has me really freaked out. But the angels have been wanting me to talk about sex for a long time, and it's coming up, and I'm really scared. Somebody's going to have to hold my hand because I'm going to be trembling the whole time. And the last one's going to be on memory, clarity, and mindset. So I'm really excited about that. If that doesn't resonate with you, I have another program. It's called Boost Your Brilliance. If you go to my Twitter, at Pete_Cossaboon, which is linked to this one right here, I've got a tweet I did a couple days ago with a special payment link. I'll be fine. Thank you so much. And it's to my program called Boost Your Brilliance. It's $5 a month, but if you sign up with that link, it's free for the first month. And what it is, I'll try not to, darling. Thank you, Sketches. If you sign up for that right there, the first month is free. And what it is it's showing how Pete steps into joy in every day. But other than that, it's $5 a month. So because I have so many clients, because I tell people, I want you to step into joy, I want you to take inspired action, and I want you to walk in faith. And then I have clients turn around right back on me, how do I step into joy? I thought, you know what, I need to start showing people how Pete steps into joy every day. So that's what the Boost Your Brilliance program is about. So if any of that resonates with you, amazing. If it doesn't resonate with you, amazing. Either way, I would still love to get messages from you on facebook.com, The Angel Encourager. I would love for you to sign up for my free newsletter. It comes out every Sunday. I have no idea what subject this Sunday is going to be on. I usually don't know till about Thursday. I've had some really dynamic ones coming up here recently, and I'm really starting to connect with some different archangels. It's amazing. I have a feeling it's probably going to be like a constant in and out flow of one's coming in and one's going out. So I have no idea, how that's even going to. I would love for you to sign up for any of those, darling, or at least for my newsletter, if nothing else. If you're not, you probably already are on my newsletter. I'm not really sure, but take a look at those different things, and I'll make sure I've got some fresh posts on my Facebook page before I leave. I've got 2% left on my iPad right now, which means it's probably going to die soon. Does anybody else have any questions or comments or anything that I can help with before we go tonight? I probably have about another 5 minutes before we're off the air one way or the other. And I want to make sure I click out before I lose it. Oh, thank you so much, Holistic Dawn. How you doing? So proud for you. Come. Oh, Wendy, I love you too, my darling. Y'all know I love you all so much. You know that. You know. And so probably with only 2%, I probably need to go ahead and just kind of close out. So what I want you to know is how much I truly love every single one of you. And more than that, how much the angels love you and how I feel the love from the angels and the universal mind and the spirit. I feel that love coming through me to you so much, and I want you to be wrapped in that love, to know that love, to experience that love in every single moment of your existence. That is so important to me. And so I'm going to say love, peace, and release.